Good evening. Wait, I have to wait for this power to go on. Just give me a second. Hello? What the hell? Just give me one moment. I'm sorry. Alright, guys. Welcome to another video, and today I'm not going to show you the guitars today, but I'm showing you the biology words today. So, if you're usually watching this channel, please give me a like in the description below, okay? Alright, let's begin. So, the first one which we're going to start today is theory. Alright, do you know what theory is? I'm in biology, so I'm in 10th grade. So, yeah. So, what is theory? It is a well-substandard of some aspect of natural world that can incorporate facts, laws, and inferences, and tested hypothesis. And that's the definition of it. And the example on this one, what is an example of theory? It says in the plant study, the theory is plants will grow tester with music. And yes, if you guys have a quiz on Monday, please let me know. And how about hypothesis? Hypothesis is a testable statement that proposes a possible explanation for a prediction about the relationship between variable. And that's the definition of it, and here's the example. An example is music helps plant grow. You guys know this stuff. That's hypothesis. And how about this one? We'll be starting with here. This one says law. See on the camera here? So law is the statement based on... Drop the paper. I'm sorry about that. A definition of law is a statement based on repeated experiments and observation that describes a phenomenon of nature. Oh, my ears are itching. Alright, sorry. An example on this one here also. This one, an example is law of gravity. Alright? So, we got law, theory, and hypothesis. And there's more here. And the other one we got experiment. You guys never did experiment on science before. A definition is carefully controlled procedure. No, it says procedure. I mean, not producer. I'm sorry. Procedure designed to test a hypothesis, manipulating variables and observing the effects. An example of this. In the plant study, the experiment had two control groups, one with music and the other without. So that is experiment, example. The example of experiment. Alright, we're finished with experiment, theory, law, and hypothesis. Now we're going to start off also with observation. What is the definition of observation? The act of noticing a phenomenon using our senses or scientific instruments are recording that information. In the plant study, we will observe the plant growth. So that's an example of observation, and that's the definition of it. So we got hypothesis, experiment, law, theory, and observation. And there's more, guys. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. So right here, independent variable. So what is an independent variable? Dropped it again. Independent variable. The definition of it says the variable that can be controlled, manipulated or made in a study to store effects. So that is the definition of it. And the example of this is the plant study, the dependent variable is the music. Alright? So we got independent variable, theory, law, experiment, observation, and hypothesis. And there's more. And now we'll be starting off with dependable. So it's not independable because it says in. It says dependent variable. And also the definition of it says the factor that is measured to see if it is affected by changes in the dependent variable. So that is the definition of it. And I'm going to give the example on this one right here too. The example of dependent variable, the plant exercises, the dependent variable is the growth of the plant. So that is the example also in the dependent variable. Alright, so we got dependent variable, experiment, law, theory, observation, hypothesis, and independent variable. And there's more. We got valid, right? Valid is whether a study or experiment is actually measured what is tended to measure. So that is a definition of this, valid. The example on here, the example of valid, it says, the plant study growth of plants was actually measured. Okay? So we got valid, theory, law, dependent variable, experiment, observation, hypothesis, and independent variable. And there's more here. We got the word, it says control group. See the paper? It says control group. And I'm going to read this right here, right now. A set of set of participants or subjects in experiment that do not receive treatment being tested. And also the example of this one. It says in a drug trial, the control group might receive a placebo, not the drug. Alright, so we got control group, independent variable, valid, theory, observation, hypothesis, dependent variable, experiment, and law. And the last one we have is the conclusion card. So with the flashback here, it says conclusion. And I'm going to read it to you right now. So what is a definition of conclusion? It says the conclusion summarizes the experiment's results and if they have supported the hypothesis. And the example of this one, it says plants fertilized with miracle growth taller than plants fertilized with others. Alright? So I think we're all finished. I think we have conclusion, dependent variable, control group, hypothesis, observation, valid, theory, law, experiment, and independent variable. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'm going to go ahead and collect them before I pause the video. And I'm going to turn off my mic. Of course, there's a lot. You guys know that. I'm going to shut the mic now. I don't have the noise coming out. Alright, mic is done. Power's off. We're going to go ahead and end the video. And I dropped the card.